You know, for the longest time, we've thought of technology as this thing we hold, right? A tool, something separate from us. Well, get ready, because that is all about to change. We are standing right on the edge of a brand new era, one where that line between silicon and our own biology, it's just completely blurring. AI isn't just going to be on our screens anymore. It's becoming a part of us.
Yeah, this quote right here, it absolutely nails it. This isn't just another iPhone update we're talking about. No way. This is a full-on metamorphosis. We're talking about the exact moment when technology stops being just a device and starts becoming a whole new set of senses for us, a new layer baked right into how we think.
So let's just say goodbye to the era of pure software. Apps, websites, everything trapped behind a screen. We're now stepping into the age of embodied AI. And what does that mean? It means AI that has a physical presence, that has its own way of seeing, and crucially, has the power to actually do things in the real world.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this massive shift, we've got to start with the company that basically defined the last era, right? Apple. See, even they know that the iPhone, as amazing and revolutionary as it's been, has kind of hit a wall. It's reached its limit. That little glass rectangle in our pocket is just not big enough, metaphorically speaking, to hold the true power of today's AI.
And this is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about Apple's super secret plan, which is reportedly called Project Atlas. They're not just building one new thing. They're building a new trinity of devices: smart glasses, an AI pendant, and get this, camera-equipped AirPods. But here's the key. These aren't just three separate gadgets. Nope. They're designed to be a single, seamless ecosystem that is constantly seeing, hearing, and understanding the world around you, and feeding all of that data straight into an AI.
So what this means is we're looking at a completely new way of interacting with tech. I mean, think about it. We're moving away from the GUI, from typing and tapping on screens. The new interface is reality. It's the world around you. How you'll talk to the digital world is through your voice. Where you're looking, the context of your situation, that's the new input.
Okay, so the real heart of this whole system is this AI pendant. Think of it as the neural hub. And this is cool. Imagine a device that's not just passively listening for you to say, "Hey Siri." It's actively understanding the context of your conversations. It's filtering out all the noise at a busy cafe and figuring out what you actually need, maybe even before you know you need it. Wild, right?
But hold on, Apple isn't the only one in this game. Not by a long shot. What we're actually seeing here is a massive disagreement, almost like a philosophical war between two tech giants over what these new digital senses should even be used for. And this, right here, is the main event. In one corner, you've got Apple's vision. They see AI as this helpful, quiet companion, a sensory companion that just understands your environment to give you a hand. But in the other corner, you've got Meta, and their vision is, well, it's different. They see AI as a digital panopticon, a system that's built from the ground up to identify every single person and thing you look at.
So you're probably wondering, how does Apple pull this off without being super creepy and intrusive? Well, the secret sauce is that they're not using high-def cameras. Instead, they're using low-resolution infrared sensors, probably in the AirPods, to scan what's around you. The H3 chip then crunches that data into a real-time depth map. The key thing to understand is that it sees space and objects, not faces. This lets you interact with the real world just using your voice, without the privacy nightmare. Meta, on the other hand, is going all in. They're taking a way more aggressive route. Their big bet is to use their number one asset, those billions and billions of photos on Facebook and Instagram. They're building a system for real-time facial recognition. We're talking about the ability to look at a total stranger and have their name and digital profile pop up instantly.
And the implications of that, they're absolutely profound. We are literally watching the birth of what experts are calling a digital panopticon. And listen, this isn't about government cameras on street corners. This is a world where every single person wearing a pair of these glasses becomes a walking, talking surveillance node. It's the effective end of being anonymous in public, period.
Okay, so giving AI new senses is a huge step. But for it to actually do something with that information, to become truly embodied, it needs a totally new kind of brain. And to get there, we have to solve one of the oldest, biggest problems in the entire field of robotics.
Have you ever wondered why even the fanciest, most advanced robots today have just awful battery life? Or why AI data centers use up as much energy as a small country? Well, it all comes down to a single, fundamental flaw in how we've been building computers for the last, 70 years. That flaw has a name. It's called the von Neumann bottleneck.
See, in basically every computer you've ever used, the processor, the brain, and the memory are in two separate places. This means data is constantly being shuffled back and forth, back and forth. It wastes a ton of energy and creates a lot of heat. It's like having a world-class chef, but their kitchen is way down the hall from the pantry. It's just incredibly inefficient.
But now, a totally revolutionary new kind of chip architecture is here to just shatter that bottleneck. They're called neuromorphic chips, and believe me, they are a total game changer. Here's the deal. Instead of being on all the time, constantly running like a normal chip, they're event-driven. That means they only fire up when something actually happens, when something changes. Just like a neuron in your own brain.
And the result of this, it's a drop in power use that is just staggering. We're going from watts down to microwatts. That's a reduction of almost 1,000,000 times. This is the breakthrough. This is what lets a robot stay on and aware of its surroundings for days, maybe even weeks, on one tiny battery. Why? Because it's only sipping power when it actually needs to react to something. Okay, so we've got new senses, we've got new brains. The last piece of this puzzle is giving AI the power to actually act. And this brings us to the dawn of what's being called the agentic economy. An economy where AI isn't just giving you advice, it's an active player in your financial world. Let's make this real. Look at this example from Visa and DBS Bank. So you tell an AI agent, hey, buy my groceries for the week. This agent, it has its own secure digital ID. It starts managing your shopping cart, and it's comparing prices between different stores in real time. You just set a budget, a ceiling, and then you give it what's called a financial signature. That's the power to go ahead and finalize the purchase, automatically, at the perfect moment to save you the most money.
And don't think this is just for buying milk and eggs. Not at all. Big institutions like Goldman Sachs are already rolling out what they're calling an army of agents. It's incredible. You've got one AI agent writing code, another one hammering on it to find security holes, and a third one checking it all for legal compliance. They all work together, like a team, with a human supervisor overseeing the whole project.
So what's the impact of this? Get this, a 400% increase in how fast they can develop these super complex financial tools. I mean, that's not just a little improvement, that's a fundamental disruption of how high-level work gets done. You can see the power shifting away from just being a coder to being the person who can manage and orchestrate these teams of AI agents.
All right, let's step back and pull this all together. We've gone on a huge journey here, right? From our own senses all the way to our bank accounts. So what does this whole silicon metamorphosis really mean for you and me?
It really boils down to 4 massive shifts. First, biology. Forget the iPhone screen. Our senses are the new interface. Second, identity. Being anonymous in public? Yeah, that's quickly becoming a thing of the past. Third, intelligence. Super powerful AI can now live right on a device, not just in some faraway data center. And last, autonomy. We are starting to hand over our economic will to algorithms, trusting them to make the best decisions for us.
And all of that leaves us with one last and maybe the most important question. And this isn't some sci-fi fantasy about the future. This is happening right now. So the question is for you, are you ready for this? Are you ready for a world where an algorithm spends your money and where a simple pair of glasses can tell you who every single person is around you? That's the question we all need to start thinking about right now.